Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back to another video. And in today's video we're going to be going over what I'm going to call underwhelming Katsu. I'm going to show you a deck list incorporating the new card and kind of how I see the deck, how I guess how I would want to play the deck more so. It's kind of like half competitive, half where I think Katsu just needs to try to at least fit right now until we get more support, but we'll get right into it. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-staying supporter, thank you so much as always. We're going to get back into these videos. Please let me know down in the comments below what you want me to cover. I'm trying to think of cool video ideas. I'm trying to formulate my videos to where I do stuff that I really want to talk about, right? Like I'm going to do a Blitz tier list because it's always fun to do those. An LL. I'm going to talk about a couple fun decks I've been playing and fun builds for people to try out. But I don't want to just make videos to make videos, right? So please let me know down in the comments below what you want to see. So we'll get right into it. Let me pull this up right here. So I'm calling this underwhelming Katsu. It's half tongue-in-cheek, half negative, whatever. It's just for fun. But right now, Katsu is just not the best aggro deck in the game. It's arguably not even top 2, top 3, right? Zen's obviously better. KO is better on a consistency basis. I think Katsu has a higher ceiling than KO does. But with the Bonds ban, KO definitely is just better than Katsu. And you could even argue Azalea is probably a better pick than Katsu right now. So to me, playing the deck in this straight leg crazy aggro way is just not as useful, right? So, if you were going to play Katsu, how would you want to do it? And this is one build. You can take this build, make changes to it, run with it, do whatever you want to do. I went back to like the Turtle Katsu roots, and I'm not doing this just to be funny or doing it to be weird. I do think like if you're going to choose to play Katsu and you want to build that's fun, thematic to the hero, a lot of people have been wanting Turtle Katsu to be good for a while now, or good again for a while now. It was good way back when. I think the incorporation of Gust Wave of Second Wind allows you to have another 3-block 4 power that has synergy with Flick Flack, has synergy with Surging Strike, and you're able to, at least combo off with something. The more I've thought about this card, the core issue with this card right now, and then we'll get into the deck, is when am I going to search for this card Overwhelming Gust Wave or Descendant Gust Wave? Unless they errata Meginshi release, or they unban Bonds at some point, or they make a new combo line for something with Gust Wave, there's almost no reason to search this card, because I'm either always going to want to have a Whelming Gust Wave so I can threaten the same 0 for 4 go again with drawing a card, or I'm going to go get Descendant Gust Wave and be able to, potentially go into Dishonor. Because the problem with this is it doesn't combo into Meginshi, and it does combo into Bonds of Ancestry, but doesn't combo into Dishonor. So the only time I would search for this is either A, I don't want to waste my Whelming Gust Waves maybe when they have a lot of armor, or B, I don't have a Dishonor engrave, and so I don't want to waste my Descendant waste, right? And I'll just take the 1 less damage, but still have a 0 for 4 go again. So that's the main core issue with this card. Regardless, though, I kind of have this pseudo Ninja Turtle deck here. We have the old school Ninja Turtle decks basically had Sinks, Fates, Sigils, Flick Flacks, and then they ran, the only non-defensive cards they ran were the Surging line as a whole, and then most of them ran the leg tap line with Hurricane Technique. Now, we're not running the leg tap line here. You could put that in there if you want to, but I think Descendant's Incorporation and Bonds kind of replace those slots. So we'll talk about the defensive cards first. We're running Sinks and Fates. As you can see, I do not have Sigils in this list, although you could add them if you wanted to. We're running 2 Razor Reflexes. Typically, most Turtle builds had 1 to 2. None of them were really running Art of War ever for obvious reasons. Consistency is just not there. So you're running 2 Razors to try to guarantee an on-hit potentially, or just close out the game. But yeah, Sinks and Fates, and then we're running 6 Flick Flacks. We're running the reds and the yellows. We're not running the blues. The value's just not quite there. You could run 1 or 2, but we're not on that. And so that way you can get a lot of synergy pieces with your blocks from all the combo cards you have in the deck. And we have a lot. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 17, 20, 23, 26, 29 combo cards, which is a decent amount, right? So that's kind of the defensive pieces. And then for against obviously attack reactions, we have 2 Ancestral Empowerment, the 3-block, +1 draw cards, pretty nice. And then the Razor Reflex. And then as you can see, we just have a lot of good value stuff that's not pertaining to the Surging line. Flusterfist is really good off Bonds if you have to use it. You could replace this with a Pounding Gale or Take the Tempo if you want to. I would prefer Pounding Gale just because of the synergy with Flick Flack. Take the Tempo actually is pretty good in this deck, but it just doesn't have synergy with Flick Flack, which is why it's not in the list. We're running Enlightened Strike, just good value. Command and Conquer in the main board I actually have. You could sideboard this if you want to. And then we're actually running Ancestral Harmony because we do have a lot of combo, right? So there is this crazy world where, you know, Surging hits and you have like the full line in your hand already, and maybe you play like, you know, especially in a fast matchup, maybe you Arsenal Harmony and then your hand is something to the effect of like Surging Strike, Red Whelming, McGinty, and a blue or something like that. And then maybe you pop Harmony and you pop a Fluster Fist off the top, or a Gust Wave of a second wind off the top. And then you play Surging and you eventually can pop Breeze Rider Boots and then have a really crazy go wide turn. And I think that potential is worth it, especially if you have Heart and Cross Trap and you can get that Surging Strike for free. So that's what we have for that. Then we're running 6 Surging Strikes. Most of the old Turtle builds only ran 3. However, I think with the addition of Gust Wave of Second Wind, I think we have to run 6 just to have enough targets for Surging Strike. Running Lord of Winds, 3 McGinty releases. You could run 2 here. You could shave, like I'm saying, you could shave off some of this. And then in the sideboard, we have Needles for the Zen matchup because you just have to have it right now. Weakest Link for all the Misfail heroes and Illusionists in general. Snags in here for new, and then Warmonger's Diplomacy for a myriad of heroes. KO it's good into because of Blood Rush. It's good into Azalea. It can help stop even Riptide from doing like multiple attacks. So really, really good there. And then we're running AB3, which may not be enough. Who knows? I have a local Kano, so if I'm going to run this deck, I have to run AB3 at least. And then Tunic for the slower matchup. So a couple other ones you could think about: Soul Bead Strike, take the tempo. You could think about just the leg tap line in general, things like that. So with Gust Wave of the Second Wind, I'm not running 3 of because I don't really want to ever see that card. I want to search for it if I have to. I'd much rather have a 3 of everything. The only day I could see you switching if you wanted to is you run 3 Gust Wave of the Second Winds and you run 2 McGinty releases just to make sure you're only seeing McGinty when you need it. You also could maybe go down to like 1 Ancestral Empowerment and then go up to your 3rd Gust Wave of the Second Wind if you're not worried about it. But I won't go into the play lines of old school Turtle Katsu, but this is how I would play it. Is this the most competitive build? No, it's not. But I think it's the way that you're going to have to choose to play Katsu in a mid-range game now. Katsu can no longer be the degenerate combo deck that he used to be and he wasn't even super degenerate. He was just a good degenerate combo deck. With all the bonds, he can't run straight like balls to the wall aggro because even though you can, it's not as good as KO, it's not as good as Zen, so like why are you doing it? I think if you want to play Katsu, have some thematics to the hero, and play, in my opinion, the best version of it for the meta, it's probably something along this line, where it's like a turtle mid-range build that can combo into a really big attack string when the opponent misblocks or isn't careful, things like that. This is something I would try. I think it's cool. I want to try to incorporate this card. Obviously, this card's basically just Fluster Fist with upside. And you could even run it that way. You could get rid of these red Fluster Fists and just run 3 Gust Wave of the Second Winds. Then you free up 2 slots for something else, right? Maybe you add in a 3rd Ancestral Empowerment and something else. There's definitely ways you could take this style of list, but I do think in general the mid-range Flick Flack list is something to try. Katsu's just in a bad spot right now. But regardless, we want to try it. We want to have fun with it. I'm still going to use this card, play around with it. Still love the hero to death, so let me know what your thoughts are. We're all in agreement that Katsu is not the best aggro deck in the format. Obviously, we're all in agreement that he's probably not even top 3. However, the obvious aside, right? Let me know in the comments down below how you think Katsu should be ran. Do you think it should be the same kind of like combo bonds deck? You know, you're still trying to get that off even with only 3 bonds. Do you think maybe Katsu needs to go back to the even bigger than that builds? With stuff like Take the Tempo and Lightning Strike Snatch and Snapdragon Scalers, I think that might be honestly the best aggro version of the deck. Or do you think it should be like this, more Turtle Katsu kind of mid-range build? Really try to have that value. The issue with this deck now, this version of the deck that I'm showing you, the 2 biggest weaknesses are Warrior and Victor. You're just not going to outvalue those decks. It's really, really hard. We kind of need the Link's Bonds plan in order to get over the top on those heroes. And without that, if you play this deck, you just have to know like you're kind of semi-conceding those matches. I think you could maybe get around Victor with all the D-reacts and maybe outvalue him, but Kasai I think will just outvalue anyone with Valiant Dynamo is just going to outvalue you. But that's just something you take into account. But overall, it's still fun. I'm still going to play the hero. Just let me know down below what y'all think as well. Let's try to be positive with it. Obviously, every hero is going to have their time to shine. I'm sure they're thinking about it on how they want to expand the combo in the ninja class. So definitely let me know down below. But thank you all so much for watching this. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Have fun with the list. Make changes. Let me know what you think works and doesn't work. If you think this is totally wrong, that's totally fine. I'm just trying to give a different spin on it with the new cards and really have that high block value. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk.